So I have this new stack. Wanted to try it out. I know it's pretty old. It's been out for almost a year now. But I did notice that they had updated the VTX. So this is the exuav F4 flytower mini, or mini flytower, whatever. Pretty cool box that it comes in. So this is it has a lot going for it, but I have some unanswered questions I want to know. Maybe somebody out there knows. It's a pretty cool stack, but yeah, I want to know a couple things. So I looked it up online. I looked it up in Banggood, which is where I got it from. Let me see what the VTX looks like. Okay, so yeah, the VTX doesn't even look the same as this. It's different. Look at this. This has a bunch of pads going across it at the top here, and it doesn't have them on there. And the LEDs are over here, over by the plug. They're not there anymore. They're on the other side over here. So this is definitely a updated, different VTX. It says VTX Mini version 1.2, and this is version 1.0. So obviously it's updated, but I don't know exactly what they did to it that's different. And there's no information on it. Yeah, no info at all, and there's a pad over here that says TX. So the pad's going across it. Says audio, video. Oh my God! Stop messaging me. Audio, video, 5-volt ground, battery ground, TX. So I think those are for if you wanted to use this VTX on something else besides this stack. But then you got the pins here. I mean, I guess you could bust them off or something. But this thing is pretty light. It says Betaflight VTX. I don't know if it has smart audio or not, but it has that pad that says TX, and I don't know what that's for. There's no information on this updated VTX that I could find. So anyway, this stack comes all together. It's a 20 amp 4-in-1. It has pads on both sides for the motors and for the battery cable, which is pretty nice. I like the color. It's BLHeli-S. It has the plug for the pins for the flight controller. So here's the flight controller. It just has all plugs. It has 3 plugs and then 3 little pads here that say SVG. And I don't even know what S and V stands for. I'm sure G is ground, but is that signal voltage ground, signal video ground? What's the V for? There's no information on that. I know that this plug is for a receiver, and that's for DSMX or S-Bus. You get 4 nice plugs, wire harnesses, whatever. This one is for S-Bus or maybe like FlySky. And it plugs into this plug right here that's right next to the 3 little pads. And then there's another one for Spectrum, which already has the Spectrum plug on the end of it, which is really nice. And then this end plugs into the flight controller. You get this plug that is for your camera, and that plugs in to the plug up here by the forward arrow. And the other end has the plug that'll plug into most cameras, except for the ones that have the long wide plug with the OSD wires on it. But other ones like this Micro Eagle that just has the 3-pin plug and then the other 2-pin plug right next to it for the OSD, this will plug right into that, so that's pretty cool. And I think a bunch of run cameras. And then this one is for the LED / buzzer combo, and that plugs into the underneath the receiver plug, and that's for any type of buzzer LED combo. I know there's some that have a plug on it. This will plug right into it, so that's pretty cool. F4 flight controller with OSD built in. It runs Omnibus F4 SD. Has 2 little pads that say audio and video. Don't know what that's about. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It has 10 pins for the VTX. So I don't know what all those 10 pins are for. There'd be, I guess one would be audio. So there's 7 right here. Audio, video, 5-volt out and ground, and then battery and ground for power in, and then TX. So there's 7. What's the other 3? I don't know. And this VTX, I mean, it's got a UFL connector. It has a nice button on the top. It's way better than the old one. The old one had a button like this, kind of like a XM Plus has, or a XM receiver, which would suck to change channels and bands and shit. So they've updated that, and there's also another button on the side. They both do the same thing, but you can get to it from the side or the top. I'm really curious what that TX pad is. But yeah, really nice stack. And then the hardware that you get is even better. The hardware is just so nice. I wish the HGLRC would stick this same exact hardware kit in all their stacks. So you get really nice long M2 screws. You get 12 little rubber O-rings, which will probably go in between the flight controller and the 4-in-1. And then you get a bunch of nice aluminum spacers, and then some little M2 nuts for the top. So yeah, pretty nice hardware bag right there. That's gonna hold the stack together quite well. And then you get this antenna, little whip antenna. It's super long. Doesn't look too bad though. UFL. And then you get a capacitor, 35 volt 220 UF. Not bad. So yeah, that's pretty nice stack. Besides the questions that I have about it, I am glad that they updated the VTX, but I just have some questions on it that I'm gonna try to figure out. So when I do, I will let you guys know. Or maybe somebody out there can let me know about this updated VTX, and if anything else is updated. So yeah, I'll be back with another video on this to let you guys know what I think of it after I build it up. I'm putting it in a Eclair 2.5 inch with some Rotor X 1107s. It's $77 for this stack. So, yep. Alright. Any questions or comments, leave them below, and thanks for watching.